Peace, 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 peace. All my brothers and sisters and all my Moors and all my true light seekers. But like I always tell my brothers and sisters, we should study everything because we supposed to be philosophers, theosophists, scholars, master teachers, educators, historians. I always like to speak on things from a scholarly perspective, historically, religiously, financially, and business. But I was conversing with a lot of my brothers and sisters that study under the Hebrew faith, and that's great because I always like to show my brothers and sisters historically that we are Moors, one nationality with many cultures, and we're definitely not here to strip anyone from their culture. But what we're here to do is illuminate things. If you're going to be saying that you are Hebrew and connecting to that Hebrew faith, so you should understand the Hebrew perspective of the scripture and things. So today, I say around 3:15, we're going to highlight some of the things that I was sharing with my Hebrew Israelite brothers, which they're Moors, which they understand. Which I say, if you understand and you're going to say that you believe in Yahshua the Messiah and Yahweh, but then study from a Greek perspective book, from a Christian book, and not understanding the difference from transliteration, replacement, and just things that can't be literally translated from Greek and Hebrew. These are the things that we must understand and understand the different versions. Like you have the Holy Name Bible, the God Name Bible. But then if you're going to say that you are Hebrew, a Hebrew Israelite, and you only reading from a King James version, and you don't have the complete collection of the Hebrew scriptures, then I guarantee you, brothers and sisters, you're being misquoted because you can't translate a Hebrew word literally to Greek or English. And we're going to talk about these things, and then we're going to talk about some of the things that a lot of Moors are getting wrong with these dumb UCC codes. But if you study under the banner, Moors, if you study under the banner, if you say you're a Hebrew Israelite and you're only reading the King James version of the scriptures and you don't know what the Hebrew scriptures meaning, brothers and sisters, that's no better. That's no better than what brothers and sisters arguing over religion. When you read the King James version, you can't translate English or Hebrew like that because it can mean 10 different things depending on the context. And we're going to talk about, we're gonna preview the preface of the Holy Name Bible. And we're going to talk about things for my Hebrew Israelite brothers because I say I come with love. And that's why I'm welcome in all houses when I talk about the Yoso Somos code and why it's important for the names. And we're going to come from scholarly perspective from back in the day when they said the name was covered for a reason. You know, we're going to talk about the Gad and Seir. We're going to talk about the ancient flood, post-history, ancient cedar ohms. Don't you supposed to know about those things? About when brothers say they study the scriptures and they know when I speak of things, this is all science. This is all science. Connecting the body to Christ, the most holy place, quarter round about. But if my brothers and sisters that say they study, that they're Hebrew Israelites, and they walking around with a Greek Bible, you misquoting everything, and then they say Jesus and stuff. And I say you can't be a Hebrew Israelite because that's not the name that was given to himself. If you're going to study under some religious dogma, brothers, you should have the Pentateuch Hafresh. You should have the Hebrew and the English Tanakh. You should have everything for you can interpret things and see where it was mistranslated. The Septuagint with the Apocrypha. You should be able to have all this. The Ignitus Catholic Study Bible. When brothers say that they studied or they understand the art of war, how you understand the art of war if you don't understand how a person is coming? You should study all that. When more say they're philosophers and all that. We study all law. And at my school, the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, we study everything. And that's when you get to the higher degrees, when you get out of dogma and you get into science. The ancient prophecies revealed. When I talk about prereqs, in the biblical scripture, this is the prereq. This is the prereq for my Hebrew Israelite brothers that walk around with just a King James Version Bible. And I'm like, man, that's nothing. the ancient book of Yasher is, they say, one of the books that's mentioned in the Bible, but we know that's bullcrap. It's mentioned in Joshua 10:13, 2 Samuel 1:18, and 2 Timothy 3:8. You can research that. Oh yeah, it's an Old Testament apocrypha. And it talks about things when I tell brothers and sisters, they're not reading the whole thing to you. And it's also a New Testament apocrypha. So you'll get those religious brothers on there arguing about something, and I say, man, they misquote scripture. I can show you all in the book of Maccabees when it's talking about they wanted to go back under the Gentile ruling. That wasn't you. Those were Greeks. If you read it, they were under the Greek rulership. And you see a Negro, black, and colored, when they under religion, just want to argue with people. And I say, they're not telling you the whole truth. What else? The Zohar. This is all about you, but nobody want to read it to you and break it down and discuss it. Just like I'll show you how the Book of Mormon is all about you. The Maimonides, the Book of Knowledge. We're supposed to study all this. The Codex Sinaiticus. We talk about the Old Testament pseudographa. The Nag Hammadiya, excuse me. The Old Testament pseudographia. We study all law, man, so we can navigate. That's why I say I'm a teacher, man. I'm not here for religious dogma. I'm not here to argue with no one, to try to convert them under no religious dogma. History proves, if you understand Moorish science, back when Moors was ruling and when they was overtaken, you still had some Moors that was studying under religious dogma of Islam and Christianity. They called them Moriscos and Marjorides. If anybody tell you any different, they lying to you. Everybody's not wrong if you understand in the essence. The cross is just sustainability. Fire, earth, air, river. And if you understand the essence of all religion, then you're not under no dogma. Because in Moorish science, God and man is one. We know that. But if you an adept, if you a philosopher, if you're a master mason, then you understand the essence of all religious dogma. And you understand history, geographical landmass. You are a true scientist. You can prove things based on what? Things that can be proven. Peer-reviewed scholarly research, historically, religiously, business-wise, we crossing all four corners. So tune in today at 3 p.m., Moors. We're going to highlight the Yosef Somos Code. When I tell my Hebrew brothers and they say, what's that? I'm like, you don't know what a palindrome word is? They're like, no. I said, well, what are you studying? Religious dogma. Moors, we are under the Hebrew diet. If you read in your Circle 7 Quran, this Hebrew God is what? The deity of Allah. He is the oracle of Allah. You priest of Kafvistu. Come on, man. He's the living oracle of Allah. Arm, leg, arm, hair. That's you and me. I'm telling you more. So when brothers and sisters be getting caught up in religious dogma, we don't do that. I love my Hebrew Israelite brothers that study, but you are a Moor. Period. I mean, we have to understand that. One nationality, many cultures. It's only one flag. Tune in at 3 p.m., Moors, around 3:15. We're going to highlight the Yosef Somos Code, and we're going to just do a divine warning to the Moors that's confused a little bit with navigating when they just giving you these UCC codes. And I'm like, man, it's UCC codes for everything. It's UCC code for retirement. It's UCC code for trafficking. Man, it ain't no such thing, no sovereign citizen. That's bull crap. That's bull crap. That's fraudulent concealment when brothers do that to you. So tune in, man, at around 3 p.m. I love you all, Moors. Love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, my 2 cents more. Health and wealth. Peace.